Who remembers the BJ and Bill show all those years ago on WOLZ? Well, many have said they missed the show, and guess what? They're back. Welcome to the BJ and Bill podcast.
Welcome to BJ and Bill, the podcast, a part of the Podcast Playground Network. Please give us that 5-star review. Subscribe on your preferred podcast platform, whether that be Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, whatever it is. Follow us also on Facebook, BJ and Bill, the podcast. Also, email us, BJ and Bill, the podcast at gmail.com. And welcome to episode 144.
Big time wrestling or something?
I don't know.
That's
okay. there is going to be a section in my book about, me getting involved in the world of wrestling.
Yes. BJ Odom is working on actually, he's not hardly working on a book, but a professional writer, a real live professional is actually working on the BJ Odom story. And my question was going to be, any progress on coming up with a title yet?
We have one, I believe. And
are you going to share it with us, or are you going to wait until we get closer to publication?
I will share it with you just to get your opinion because it's not a done deal.
Okay.
More parts than a nugget. Oh, a chicken nugget. More parts than a chicken nugget.
Seriously.
Then there'll be like a subtitle.
Of course. I get that.
Will kind of explain the book.
Of course, yes. The crazy, wacky story of BJ Odom, who should not have lived. The boy who lived.
Yeah.
Like Harry Potter. The boy who lived. Yeah.
But, we were like throwing things around. I also said, to her that's one of the lines I use when I open my comedy act.
Right.
I had a heart transplant 2003. Kidney transplant 2015. I got more parts than a chicken McNugget.
If you can explain that in the first page, on the first page of the book, then I'm okay with it. But other than that, it kind of leaves me like, it's a head scratcher. It's kind of like, what?
Now, I will tell you this. I ran that name because you said I can't say McChicken Nugget.
No, you can't really. No.
So I have to just say a chicken nugget.
Yeah, and I think that's better.
But I went to my buddy AI.
Mr. Chat GPT.
I asked if, that was because I've actually given bits and pieces of my book.
Kind of like a chicken nugget. Yeah.
Yeah. And it always does everything for my podcast that, about organ donation.
Yes.
Of course, it also helps me with this podcast, write things out.
Sure.
And it came back to me saying that isn't a bad title with everything that I've went through and everything that I've done, as long as I have a decent subtitle to go along with it.
So did you ask for a subtitle?
Oh yeah. It gave me a whole
bunch of them.
Slew of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Christine, actually, she was the one that first said she thought that should be maybe the name of the book. And I'm going, that's not a name of a book.
I'm not sold on it just yet. Maybe it will appeal more later, but at the moment it's a little too doesn't really tell me anything.
But now that's what Chat GPT said was good about it.
Really? Leaves it a mystery.
Leaves it open. And supposedly, according to Chat GPT, if it knows squat from diddly, it like, whoa, what is this all about? What do you mean? More parts than a chicken nugget? What?
Yeah. Again, it's going to be really important to explain that. And it's going to be really important to have a good subtitle, obviously, that kind of helps to explain it, I guess. I don't know. I'm open. Like I said, I don't hate it. I don't love it. So we'll see how it goes.
Because I was looking for something when I saw it would just knock me off my feet.
That's a hard one. That's hard to do on the first take.
Yeah. So, and maybe as we get closer, because I pretty much now, my wife needs to talk with her.
Right.
You've talked with her. My two children have talked to her.
Yes.
So she's now in the, she pretty much believes, unless I, wake up in the middle of the night and said, oh my goodness, here's something that should be in the book. I think we've really gotten all the information. She may have bits and pieces and questions to ask,
Sure.
but I think now, because she's already given me a few chapters.
Cool.
So, she gives me a few here and a few there, and I go over them and say, well, yeah, that's not how that's not how it happened, or that just doesn't sound at all like me.
Right.
Which I told her, really, none of it sounds like me because of my intelligence in writing. None of it sounds like me. There ain't no way my brain would write any of this stuff. But I mean, we are collaborating, and I think it's really coming together.
Good.
Now, something she's come up with also, and now I've kind of, as I've given her stories,
Yes.
have added title names to the book. But not title names, but I mean chapter names.
Chapter names.
All the chapters, as of right now, will be based on a song.
Oh, I like that. Now that I like a lot.
Yeah, like the last chapter,
Uh-huh.
Sundown by Gordon Lightfoot,
I
The
love that
last
song.
chapter of the book.
Of course.
And, there's other songs that all the songs will kind of go along with what we'll be talking about.
So what song is it going to be about? The radio, the BJ and Bill show is going to have, I'm sure, or at least the radio career. That'll be interesting to see and hear.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And then what we would need to do, so write this down in your marketing notebook, is when the book comes out, then we do one of the podcasts featuring all those songs, at least a snippet.
Yeah, because I was going to say, I don't know if we could.
Yeah, we couldn't play the music all the way through, but you could play 30 seconds, I think, or something like that.
I think it's 15, under 15.
Okay. It might be tough, but if you just played the hook, that'd be good enough.
But now I will, because my son has a couple podcasts.
Uh-huh.
And one is called The Vinyl Boys.
Yes.
Where they take a piece of vinyl, and I don't talk about the vinyl you put up on your wall somewhere or on your kitchen floor.
In the old days, that's what us DJs used to call records, vinyl.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they were on vinyl.
They were.
Well, all of the records that the Vinyl Boys talk about, because they'll take an album.
Sure.
And they will discuss, the artist, things they like about songs on the album, stories about songs, and they talk over almost all of it. So they actually put the needle. For those of you that are very young, you may get lost here for a second. They actually take the vinyl record, put it on the turntable.
Ooh.
You hear the needle go on the record, and they are records. It's not theater of the mind, people. It is real vinyl records.
I hear you.
And they sit there and they talk about the album all the way through, and they flip it over. Oh, time to flip over the album.
Right.
Flip it over. Needle goes back down again. And, they discuss, like I said, the artist.
So they're playing the entire record, but they're talking over the entire record.
Yes.
Does that get them past the copyright?
And they haven't had any red flags yet.
That's interesting. That's super interesting.
Maybe I shouldn't have opened my mouth. Maybe people now will be going.
I think their podcast might be a little more popular than our. Well, I don't want to say that. Our podcast is super popular, and I'm sure there's people listening, important people listening. So yeah, but that's okay. So now, what was tell me one of the records they've done. I'm going to have to go listen because I admit I have not listened to a single episode of the Vinyl Boys.
You know what's cool about it? They've done 70 songs like Fleetwood Mac.
Cool.
They've done rap artists, like Eminem.
Cool.
They've done, R&B artists like Smokey Robinson.
Awesome.
They've done, I think they've even done like maybe a Garth Brooks and a Willie Nelson, I know they've done Waylon Jennings. Yeah, Waylon Jennings.
Awesome.
So they've done a little bit of, it's not just like one genre.
There's no D in there.
but they
Genre.
have taken, different types. Let's just say that.
Okay,
Let's use
good.
words I know. They've used different, let's say they've used different types of records and
Well,
different
that's
types
awesome.
of music. And it's a cool little podcast because they do a lot of research on it. So you learn a lot about the artist. You learn a lot
Sure.
about, how maybe different songs came together.
Sure.
Maybe how the band even broke up if they're talking about a band or how they got put to. It's a pretty, if you like music, it's a pretty interesting, called the Vinyl Boys.
I'll put it on my podcast catcher. I'll
And I
put
think
it
the
in Apple
boys are spelled
Podcasts.
Boyz.
Yeah, you
I
got to be
think.
cool. Yeah, you got to
Yeah,
be cool with
the
that
Vinyl
stuff.
Boys.
I know. Yeah.
And it's really cool because, well, they have another podcast, which is called the Outcast Podcast.
right.
And it's so unique too, because there's a black guy, a brown guy, pretty much a redneck guy. And then, my son pretty much is the host.
Uh-huh.
And so, yeah, so they have,
And what do they talk about there?
oh, a little bit. It's a little on the rowdy side, but they talk everything like they're not like BJ and Bill. They're not afraid to jump in the fire of politics.
Gotcha.
And they all have different opinions there.
Well, that's good.
And yeah, there has been, let's just say this one time during the podcast, and a lot of things we always say on radio is theater of the mind.
Of course.
Let's just say this wasn't theater of the mind.
It was the real thing.
Two of the gentlemen were ready to go outside and throw some,
Throw some fists around.
Yeah. They
Wow.
were, and it was a political debate when they were
Wow.
ready to go at it. But, as my son being the host, settled things down. People kissed and made up by the end of the day, but it was
Calmer heads prevailed.
Yeah, but yeah,
Good for them.
Got a little tense there for a few seconds.
Cool. Very cool. All right. So we've promoted every other podcast on the playground except for ours. They better damn well tell their listeners to come listen to BJ and Bill for no good reason, but just the fact that we've, reciprocal.
Yeah. and we have taken a lot of the podcasts that are on the podcast playground and gave them great mentions.
Oh, yes, we have. Oh, yes.
The only one
Absolutely.
that I know for sure, there are two that have given us good mentions. That is Gut Punched,
Right.
which is about Alzheimer's disease.
Right.
And also, what's the other one? Tom Drake.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And his
Our
podcast.
buddy. Yeah.
Those two I know, and I don't know of anybody else.
That's all right. Whatever. We're here. We're here for you guys. How do we rank in the in the age department of the podcast? Because we've been around for 3 years now. Have they all been around that long?
A handful of them have.
Okay. Because we're like one of the OGs on the playground. Let's face it. Come on.
We're definitely the old guys on the playground.
We are definitely the old guys.
We don't teeter and totter as much as we used to. Let's just say on the playground.
That's awesome. So there you go. All right. So we've killed a quarter of the show, but it's all good. What else is going on in your life?
Now, I don't have an Indiana Pacer hat, so as you can see, I have my hometown.
Got his Rensselaer, Indiana hat on. Yes.
They didn't do very good last night. Well, now again, we record this on a Monday. This will come out on Wednesday.
Yes.
They didn't do the very best of jobs coming packed last night.
Which was the Sunday night as we record this, like you said. Yep, got their butts kicked.
I think they lost by
Oklahoma
15.
City. I've been quoting that stat from game 1, which is Oklahoma City in a 48-minute game, in a 48-minute long NBA playoff game. The Oklahoma City Thunder led the game by 47 minutes, 59.7 seconds and lost. To me, that was one of the great finishes I've ever seen, that first game. Last night, now again, game 2, okay, fine, Oklahoma City, they figured it out. They're like, all right, we're going to, now we got your foot on your throat, our foot on your throat, and we're probably not letting up. So I don't know where we go from here. Series moves back to Indiana for game 3 for 2 games, and we'll see how it goes. So
I really enjoyed, and I mentioned this to you the other night in a text when we were talking a little bit about the basketball game. even though Caitlin Clark was not playing, I watched the entire game
Right.
when
Oh, you're talking Indiana Fever.
when the Fever went and played the Chicago
Chicago
Sky, and
Sky,
yeah.
yes.
So and that was a good game, and they won by a good margin. It wasn't a blowout, but they won by a good
Right.
margin. And they did not have Caitlin Clark. I think when she comes back,
Yeah.
unless that leg is more damaged than we think.
Darn well better not be. The entire league rests upon those legs.
But nonetheless, they prevailed.
Right.
I think they're 2 for 2. I mean, no, not 2 for 2. They've won 2 and they've lost 2 while
All
she's
right.
been out.
If you can tread water until your superstar gets back, you're doing okay. You're fine. So
Yeah. So,
that'll be good.
but yeah, it was shocking to me because I didn't even watch the entire game, last night with the
Uh-huh.
Pacers, but I did watch the entire Sky Beaver game.
Awesome. I will say that I've been dipped in and out of the ladies of the WNBA. I will say my lady friend and I were last week because the series ended last weekend. We were totally locked in on the ladies NCAA College World Series for softball. It was fun to. By the end of the games, by the end of the series, we knew all the players, we knew all the coaches. It was great. We really enjoyed it. And hats off to the Texas Longhorns for winning the ladies NCAA College Softball World Series.
Now,
So,
I don't know a lot about softball.
I didn't either. Well, it turns out I didn't because we're watching the game and they're talking about some of these not crazy, some of these different rules. And it's like, wow, really? Didn't know that. So anyway.
But I do know there's a fast pitch and there's a slow pitch.
Yes.
College, are they playing fast pitch or slow pitch?
Absolutely fast pitch. The pitches are coming in at the slow pitches are 50 miles an hour. The
Oh, wow.
fast pitches, when the girls really crank it, are coming at about 75 miles an hour. And they show that ump cam, the umpire wearing the little camera right on the hat. And I'm like, I don't think I could put a bat on one of those balls. I might if I got really lucky, but wow, they are cranking it. So it was exciting. It was exciting to watch.
I think I've shared this story before on the podcast.
Which is?
Way back in my early days, back in Indiana,
Mm-hmm.
I worked at a radio station and, I was quite young. Another young gentleman who worked at the radio station was a sales guy and we got along good, hung out together, Sometimes, someone works at the radio station, you kind of, bond with and you have
Sure.
a good friendship with. Well, my good friend said, you know what I would like to do? Because you always read the PSAs, the public service announcements. They were looking for coaches for the girls softball league in town. And he goes, you know what? I like baseball. He goes, been athletic, played, even a little bit in college. Because I think I'm going to sign up and be a coach for this girls softball team. They're really looking for coaches. They need coaches.
Sure.
Ah, cool. Go do it. Yeah. Knock yourself out. So he signs up and he comes back. I need an assistant coach.
My friend BJ.
And I go, I know nothing about softball or little girls for that matter. And he goes, don't have to worry about a thing. Don't have to do anything. Just come to the games. You'll hang out. Piece of cake.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, good. You're
Let's
a coach
continue.
who does nothing.
Let's continue with the story. So, the world of radio. Some town, maybe 45 minutes away,
Right?
came to this young man and said, we're looking for a salesperson. We're in Little Rensselaer where the salespeople really don't make the big dollars like they do in the
Big city.
bigger towns.
Sure.
Just like anything else, on air people, everything.
Sure.
I have to take this job, man. It pays. I'm going to make 3 times what I'm making right now.
Sure.
I don't think I'm going to be able to come back and help coach the team because I'm going to be in this town and I'm going to be working a new job.
Oh, I hear this coming.
BJ, you need to take over the team. What?
Is this
That
in the
was
book? This needs to be in the book.
that was the longest, most miserable summer of my entire life. It wasn't the girls. No, the girls were fine. They
Sure.
played. They may have only won one game after the coach left, and the assistant coach had to take over.
Right?
But after every game, half the parents, you need to put this person here, you need to put that person. It's like, oh my God, somebody just shoot me now.
Yes, I think the you always hear that, and it's obviously true, right? I mean, the parents are the worst part of coaching any small kid sports team.
Oh, the kids were great.
Sure, I know. The kids are great.
I had
Parents
not
are the
one,
ones who awful.
yeah, I had not one problem with any of the kids.
So you did
Oh,
not win Coach of the Year or anything
no.
else like that. Needless to say, you were
But we did
just
win one game.
you won one game.
And the boy, those girls went hog wild that game. And I smiled like a proud papa.
Well, there you
All I
go.
know is when that season was over.
Hang up your
Never,
hat, walk
ever
away.
again.
Never, ever again.
And I don't
love
care
that.
if my bestest friend in the entire world would come up and say, BJ, come on, help me. I'm just going to coach a team. You don't have to do nothing. You just come to the games, kind of, take care of the girls maybe a little
Sure.
bit while the
Sure.
game's going on. I'm,
Sure.
you might have to go coach second base or something like that. I mean, third base.
Third base. Nobody coaches second base. I love that. We wondered. So here's what we wondered, and maybe you can shed some light on that. Well, you had younger girls. These guys, it's interesting in college, in the ladies softball. Sometimes the coaches are women, sometimes the coaches are men. Doesn't matter. I mean, it just so happened that the final series for the ladies for the World Series softball was two Texas teams. It was Texas and Texas Tech. Interesting. And both coaches were guys. And in fact, they knew each other, of course. But we were, especially my lady friend is wondering, do these guys like have to help these college girls with like, makeup and, Instagram photos? And, it's like, not exactly the stuff you signed up for as a baseball coach. Are there going to be days where somebody's just having a crying fit over something and you have to be there for it?
Well, these were pretty little girls. And yeah, there were some crying fits every once in a while.
Right.
And just like little boys, a couple of girls would be out playing in the sand and it's like, hello, the ball's coming. You need to get up and try to, go get the ball.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, you don't have that in college, obviously. But yeah, but I understand it. You got all kinds of non-sports issues.
That was the worst summer of my life.
Worst summer of my life. I think that needs to be in the book. If it's not, it needs to be in the book. And you could use John Fogerty. What's the name of the song? The baseball song that John Fogerty does.
Outfield or what was it?
Yeah, I think it's yeah. Come on, put me in, coach. I'm ready to play today. There you go. Awesome. I love that. That's great. That's great.
I don't know why that memory. We should have never talked about girls softball. That memory I think has left my brain forever until today.
Scarred. He's scarred in there. Okay, I get it. That's fine. One other sports note, and that did you notice as you watched the NBA final game? Well, let's go back to the basketball, to the men's finals. Did you notice the NBA trophy on the floor? The big decal. Because it wasn't there game one, and fans complained that in the past they had the giant trophy as the center, as the logo in the center of the court, and the fans said, WTF, where is it? And I guess the association heard enough complaints that they CGI'd the trophy onto the floor last night, and it just wasn't there all the time. And apparently now they're catching real flack about the fact that they're not. So I would be willing to bet when they get to Indianapolis, when they get to Gainbridge, it will probably be there for real, because there's been a lot of complaints from people about this finals, and it's like, it doesn't look like a finals, it just looks like a game. It's like, I'm like, really? You need a logo on the court to make it a final? But whatever. Just threw that out there.
The only thing that I miss about the finals
Mm-hmm.
is Jimmy Kimmel doing like a pregame show.
I never thought of that. Did he? He used to do
Yeah, he
that?
always did like, they always had the pregame show.
Yes.
But then before the pregame show, he always did like a 30-minute, like almost like a, late night show before the game. And, they talk a little bit about the game, but
Yeah.
he'd have other guests on.
Really?
And they'd, yeah. And
I
that,
don't remember that.
Yeah. And it's not, that's what I'm missing this year.
Okay. Well, hey, and next year the whole universe changes. It's a cosmic shift next year, as the Inside the NBA crew, the four horsemen, as Shaq says, the team we know and love, moves over to ESPN. It's going to be interesting. Going to be super interesting to see how that works. So we'll see.
Not only will the show be interesting,
Yes,
but I think it will also be interesting because, like I said, I've heard words that a lot of these guys are making actually more money than they made.
Yes.
When they worked for Turner.
Yes.
So I'm wondering too, how many of those guys will show up other times, other places on other shows, and if that will be part of their,
Yeah, part of their deal.
contracts.
Part of their deal. Well, we know, for example, we have seen Charles Barkley on doing some hockey commentary now, just for fun, but he loves it. He enjoys it. So I can see, because ESPN has, hockey on and stuff like that. So ABC. So I can see that happening. I mean, as far as what, like Kenny Smith and Ernie Johnson, what they're I don't know that they'll do. I mean, maybe they will. Who knows? I mean, Ernie Johnson's a professional broadcasting person and is awesome at his job. It would be interesting to see if he could do or wanted to do something else. I don't know. We'll see.
Now I was actually talking to my son for game one
Mm-hmm.
before the game started. And so since I was talking to him and the game hadn't actually started yet, it was just the, post game or pregame show.
Right.
Turned the volume down and I'm talking to him, and all of a sudden, walking onto the set and giving everyone that was there at the desk doing the pregame show a big hug was our buddy Shaquille.
Yes.
And I'm going, oh my God, are you watching the game? I said, Shaquille just came in on the set and giving everybody a hug. So I didn't get to hear what they said because I was talking to my son, but that was kind of interesting, I thought.
And
that was
yeah.
ABC people,
Yeah. And he was in the front
ESPN.
row. He was in the front row for the game too, because they showed him a couple of times. But yeah, so I mean, he's just wandering. He's just saying hi to the new people. Well, actually, he's the new guy in the neighborhood. So he's coming. Maybe he should have brought cookies or something like that to introduce himself to the new neighbors.
Hey, let me just something real quick since we're talking sports, and we'll take a break. That I have a cousin. Well, I don't know. I guess I don't know, nephew, whatever it is. It's on my wife's side, my first wife's side,
Okay.
which would be Gentry's cousin or cousin.
Yes.
And he is in Indianapolis Children's Hospital.
Okay.
He is battling leukemia.
Oh dear.
And so Gentry just thought, and this was like the game prior, the series prior to this one.
Yes.
So he gave Shaq a call and said, hey, I've got a cousin. He's in Children's Hospital. If there's anything you can do, maybe sign a ball, send it over there. Do whatever you can. I'd really appreciate it. So he gets about half hour later, 45 minutes later, he gets a call from the grandmother. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. Shaquille called him and FaceTimed him.
Wow.
When he was in the hospital. And she said that just meant so much to him. It helped his morale. It helped everything. And, that was something he didn't need to do. But my son, since, they're friends.
Sure.
If you could do anything, send him a ball, just whatever you can do. If If you can,
Right.
I understand because I know you're busy. But
Right.
whatever you can do, I would appreciate it.
That's incredible.
And
That's our man.
just call to wish the kid good.
That's our man, Shaq. Wow. That is awesome.
Didn't have
That's
to do it. Didn't need to
no,
do it.
no,
Didn't get paid to do it. Just did it.
just did it. He, yeah, unreal. And of course, as somebody who knows a little bit about Shaq, because I write about him 3 times a week, I know that those things are not unusual for him. He'll just do it. I mean, and good for him. Just, I mean, I can't. Again, I've not never, it's not like he and I are buddies or whatever, and so I need to get in touch with the guy. I need to at least meet the guy once before I, finish this job. not that I'm looking to finish the job, but I've been writing about him for a few years.
But now, the grandmother, of course, obviously had a picture
Yep.
of the phone.
Yep.
And there's the big guy. And of course, our patient.
Right.
And I said, man, you need to get that picture and do a social media, He goes, no, not unless Shaq says do it. He goes, I might call and ask him if he minds, but Shaq just
Yeah.
likes doing those things without
Yeah.
props.
I get it. I mean, he does enough stuff when he'll be, out and about, at Walmart or whatever and buying stuff for people and all of that. That gets plenty of coverage. And there's probably things he does on a day-to-day basis that don't get covered, and that's okay too. I mean, the guy's out there.
Yep.
He's kind of hard to miss. So it's all good. All right, that sounds good. Let's take a quick break. Go refill your coffee, do whatever you need to do. We will be right back. Welcome back to BJ and Bill, the podcast. Sounds like there should be an echo there. Podcast. I'm Bill Stevens. That's BJ Odom coming to you live and direct. Well, sort of. And as always, if you are enjoying what you hear on this podcast, we would invite you to show the love by giving us that 5-star review wherever you listen to your podcasts, whether that's Apple Podcasts or Spotify or iHeartRadio or YouTube Music. We are like fungus. We're everywhere. So, yeah, just drop that 5-star review. We'd appreciate it. If you want to talk to us, best place to do that probably on our Facebook group. Just do a search for BJ and Bill Podcast. Make sure you put the and in there. BJ and Bill Podcast on Facebook, or BJ and Bill the Podcast on gmail.com, at gmail.com. There you go. All good. All good. Doggone it. What else?
I'm trying to remain healthy.
Yes, you are.
The doctors have told me, kind of what I should and shouldn't eat.
Yes.
And now and again, you will get all, everybody who is on a diet or, trying to be good. Seems
Sure.
like you have those days where you just, okay, I'm going to do something bad.
This weekend was my turn for that. We went to a local festival and we've been working our way through a gigantic bag of kettle corn.
Oh, I love kettle corn.
Oh, I love kettle corn.
So the wife and I are out yesterday just doing some errands.
Mm-hmm.
We'd ate lunch at home earlier in the day, so we didn't need a big dinner or anything.
Mm-hmm.
And the wife goes, let's just stop and get something quick. She suggested, the clown place.
Oh, no. Come on. You can do better than that.
Well, we went to the clown place.
Oh, my goodness.
One thing I've seen them on television because they advertised them. And I even said, the next time I go, I think I'm going to have those chicken tenders, not the nuggets,
Right.
but the chicken tender.
They are advertising the heck out of those. Yes, they are.
You see them on television.
Yes.
They look so crispy.
Of course.
The chicken looks so juicy.
Yes. See, it's called advertising, BJ.
I'm going, okay. Not really on my diet because it's fried, but it's chicken. Yes. I'm not going to, I'm just going to do the nuggets.
I hear you.
I mean, not the nuggets, the strips.
I hear you.
And the wife goes,
For
well, I'd
waiting.
like to try. So I got lucky here. So the wife said, I'd like to try one too. So I got the 3-piece. I was just going to have two.
Right.
She was having a kid's meal, cheeseburger meal.
Okay.
So I was just going to give her one of my. So we're sitting there actually because we just thought we'd eat there because I don't like to get food from the clown place, especially if you're going to have French fries anywhere in your order, whether it be mine or my wife's, and then drive home because you want them hot.
Yes.
So we decided let's just go in, eat there, eat quick, back on
Really?
the road and home.
Nobody eats inside a fast food restaurant anymore. Nobody.
If you want hot French fries, you do.
I understand. I get it.
But I was interested in the hot chicken strips.
I hear you.
One, can't order in there. You got to order on their damn little
App.
or app or their little marquee they have in there. It's
A
like
little
a giant,
kiosk.
like
The
yeah, it's
kiosk.
like a
Yeah,
giant.
you can't
cell
talk to
phone.
it. You cannot talk to a human. No.
And of course, my wife, wanted certain things on her cheeseburger and certain things not.
Good luck with that.
Oh no, she got it. Everybody got the right order.
Okay, cool.
I get these wonderful, fantastic chicken strips. So excited that juicy chicken I've seen on the advertising.
Oh, wait, he hasn't bitten into one yet.
The crispiness of, oh my God.
All right, stop it. You're tempting us.
I slowly open the box. So excited. The box opens. Oh my gosh. That's the chicken strips? Those aren't the chicken strips I've ever seen on TV.
It never is.
Pick it up.
Yes. Chomp. He's making a face, folks.
Is this chicken or is this jerky?
That's funny.
Not only was I wanting them hot and crispy,
Yeah, right.
these were cold. I swear, this is just what I'm going to guess.
Right.
I don't know how long you're supposed to put them in the little fryer thing, but I'm thinking it was in there 5 times longer than you're supposed to.
Well, they weren't like they weren't like black, were they? I mean, they weren't like fried to whatever.
Let's just say that it tasted like jerky. And they also, like I said too, they weren't hot. They'd
Ooh.
probably been, sitting there for long enough to be pretty well cold by now.
Ooh.
I
Yuck.
took one bite into that and I'm going, oh my God, this tastes like chicken jerky. There's no chicken whatsoever. And I go,
So sorry.
you wanted one of these. I told my wife, I said to take one. She slowly put the one after she took a bite back in my basket and said,
Back in the box.
I'm not eating it. I go, well, I'm not eating it either.
Yeah, see,
They were terrible.
terrible.
You know,
Did you? I mean, if it's me, I'm really tempted to like take a picture and post it on social media and like tag you know who, dear clown place. Stop
man.
clowning around with chicken strips.
I just said I will never,
Never.
ever. Yeah, and I shouldn't eat fries. I do like their fries on occasion. I will because the wife likes to get the kids meal.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll maybe get a kids meal, but I usually get the more parts than a nugget.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll have 4 of those with the sauce and
Sure. You're
they're
good to go.
tolerable.
They're tolerable.
I could eat those and smile.
Good for you.
I cannot eat those strips and smile. I took one bite. I don't think I've cussed that much in a McDonald's restaurant in my entire life.
Did you try to get it fixed? Did you make mention of it?
They were so bad.
Oh, one of those stories.
I didn't. I was like, if these are this bad, I can only imagine.
I
just took it as a wash.
Okay, good. I mean, fine. Lesson learned. I get it. Yeah, but still, I mean, I'm sure they weren't cheap. Nothing's cheap anymore at fast food places. So
I think for 3 of them they were $8.99, but that was
holy cow!
But that was with the drinking fries.
I understand, but that's still. I'm sorry. I could not have let that slide. I would
And
have. Yeah.
but now my wife,
Yes.
she got the Happy Meal.
Oh, great. Was she happy about it?
Well, she was supposed to get a certain little toy that was stuffed, and I got to say she gets these because our dog loves to use them as toys. Like we'll throw it, and they're perfect size for our little dog.
Okay.
They put in some other stupid toy.
Didn't
So she
even get
did.
the right toy.
So she did go up to the window and say, "Hey, on the little kiosk, I poked what I wanted, and this is not what." Okay, so they did fix that, and they would have probably done something to me too if I'd have went up there and
Give
whined.
you
But
a new toy. Great.
I, I would have preferred the toy, but it just wasn't worth it. Let's just say this: I think even if they were cooked properly,
Yes.
they would have still sucked.
That's wow. That's
So that's why I
hard, man.
figured, why go up there and
Yeah.
complain and
That's hard.
why why
That's
why why send crap back when you know you're going to get crap back?
hello. I
I
hear
mean, I
you.
doubt if they'd have gave me my money back. I usually go, well, we'll get you something else.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. But I see, let this be a lesson to you, young man. I mean, come on. You can't well, you can do what you want with your money and your food, but really?
Yeah, I mean, it's the last. I mean, when I was a kid, I loved that place. Even as a
We all did. We all did.
even as a mid adult, I loved that place.
We all did because they were decent then. And it
Yeah,
was cheap. You could feed your face for a few bucks.
yeah. Oh man, it was great. Like like I said, I did comedy.
Sure.
I did music.
Sure.
That was like the
Sure.
perfect stop after especially when they started opening 24 hours.
Oh yeah.
Stop being
Oh
like
yeah.
around 11:30, 12 o'clock.
Oh yeah.
But like I said, it's like months and months in between times I even eat there anyway. But I don't
I
think
hear
I'll
you.
never do
I
it.
I still would. Yeah. There are better choice. Again, they're not. None of them are. Well, I shouldn't say none of them are great. I haven't been to a fast food place. Wow, I can't tell you. It's just been forever. I mean,
But
I still love my Culver's ice cream once in a while. A little concrete mixer, but I don't eat their food. I just go for the ice cream and I drive through and I take it home.
well, so if let's say Armageddon hits and you're in your car and you're driving away, from
Yes,
Armageddon and you're starving and you have to stop at least one. Well, the only
fast
thing that
food
you can get is
place.
fast food. What is this place going to be?
That's a good question. I will say now I've read the list of ingredients, so I've kind of sworn off it. But before I knew how it was made, the Popeyes chicken sandwich was to die for. And now it's literally to die for if you read the ingredients. But yeah, Popeyes chicken sandwich, great. Um, of course, Chick-fil-A, great chicken sandwich as well. Now if money is no object, Five Guys. Five Guys burger. I mean, that's real beef with and that's really expensive. Really expensive. I don't know how they stay in business now, but it's really good. It's really good. And it's not that bad for you.
Oh, that's another thing. Like, yeah, I wanted to bring this to your attention and ask you about it.
I'm listening.
I told you, one, I'm not a big fan of the clown anyway.
Right.
If I'm a fan of anything that they serve, hot fries.
There you go.
Like I said, we were going to order and eat it there because we were not going to take fries home and go, oh, these things are cold, they're disgusting.
And your fancy new car is going to smell like fries for the rest of the month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we sat there and ate.
Wow.
Was there probably for 20 minutes.
Right.
I swear to God, because all that was in there, there's just like one kiosk. It's not like it used to be in the old days where there's
Oh, I
like
know.
3 or 4. There's one in that. And the one you go to is, like if you go to the kiosk that's up there, that you go get your food there. That's
Yes.
that's the only thing that kiosk is for. But they also have like the little hole that comes out and all the where you guys, you dashers, you door dashers can pick up. I swear to God, we were in there 15 minutes, maybe 20 at the most. 5. I saw 5 door dash. They come in with their phone. They show it to them.
Yep.
They get the big
Yep.
bag. It's zipped and
Yep.
it's closed,
Yep.
and they walk
Yep.
out. I'm thinking, how many people order
DoorDash. The
McDonald's from DoorDash.
the answer is a lot. And the weird thing, not weird, but the that's the way the business of fast food is nowadays. I'll bet you 90%, not 90, but a huge percentage of all the fast food places is delivery. And you're right. When I was doing the DoorDash thing, and I'll probably go back to it just to make a couple of bucks here now that, summer is coming. Yes, all of these places, McDonald's, Wendy's, Burger King, Taco Bell. My God, Taco Bell is the worst because you'll get an order at Taco and on your DoorDash.
Taco?
What's that?
Who wants a cold taco? They're as bad as a cold McDonald's French fry.
Tell me about it. But on your DoorDash app for the driver, it will tell you exactly how many items you are picking up so you don't screw it up. It's like, okay, total items, 5. Okay, there's a burger and 2 fries and 2 drinks and whatever, 5. Taco Bell, it'll be 27 items. What? And it's 2 tacos, a drink, 5 of these sauces, 5 of these sauces, and 5 of these sauces. And it's like, are you serious? Now, the good news is I don't have to pick them up. No.
I was going to say, you're not responsible for the sauces?
Technically, you are responsible for the entire order, but like McDonald's, like you noticed, McDonald's is really good. I give them credit with their takeout for us DoorDash guys. They hand you the bag, it's sealed, it's taped up with one of their big stickers with the number on it. You can scan it, you can do the whole thing. So I just tell the kid, I'll just say, this included 2 drinks, right? And he'll go, drinks in the bag, sir. Thank you very much. I'm on my way. Taco Bell they're pretty good. They're not, but you're going to wait. You walk into a Taco Bell, it's usually 2 kids who couldn't care less about working tonight. And the line is, around the block. And I'm trying to kind of just push over toward the takeout, like you said, the DoorDash thing. Because every fast food place now has a rack of some sort.
Like there's a hole. And they put it in on that side, and they come in and they grab it.
Come in,
show
grab
their
it.
Phone, they grab it. They go.
On the way. Absolutely, positively. So what a pain. It's like, oh boy, I'm going to make $2 on this delivery.
Yeah, that's what I want to do. I want to ask you the $1 million question. Now I know, like, let's say, just even the wife and I, I think our total meal last night was like, it was like maybe $20, $18, something like that.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
No, it's 15. It was 15 right on the money.
$15.
So what I'm asking here is, what will you make like on an order like that? Let's just you say $20.
Right.
Because we know if you order $15 worth of food from McDonald's, when you go through DoorDash, you're probably paying $20 for it.
Probably are. So here's the thing with DoorDash. As a dasher, a DoorDash driver, I don't work for the company. Just like Uber, just like Lyft, just like all the others. I am an independent contractor. So I don't have assigned deliveries. They make me an offer. They say, BJ Odom just ordered McDonald's, and here's what you're picking up, and here's what the job pays. Do you want to take it or not? And you can decline. So if I look at it and I go, all right, BJ Odom ordered this McDonald's, and he lives way the hell across town, and I'm going to be in traffic for 20 minutes, and it pays me. Now, DoorDash has a small, very small amount that they will pay you per delivery. $2.50, $2.50, maybe. Some nights when it's busy, like Uber has their crush times or whatever they call that, they bump it up. So sometimes you'll get another $1 as well from DoorDash. But then I know the tip on the delivery before I pick it up. So if your tip sucks, to put it not too fine a point, I can decline it. Now, I can't keep decline, because eventually that hurts my score, and blah, blah, blah. They try and incentivize you to take them, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, I've declined many a cheap delivery to say, no, I'm not taking this. I'm not driving a half an hour for $3. I'm sorry, I'm not. So do better, tippers.
Yeah, I was actually thinking that would be something that I might do on my off time, or maybe just a couple hours a week or 4 or 5 hours a week. And
I
I'm
enjoy
reading
it.
And I want to just bring this up real quick too. If no one's ever like looked into being a dasher,
Right.
so they give you this cool little pouch. It's it's almost like a pizza guy, but it's
Yeah.
bigger than a pizza guy because you can put like a couple
Yeah.
baskets in there.
Yeah.
It's pretty good size. Warmer. It doesn't keep it warm, but I mean, you
No, a
close
hot
it.
bag. Yes.
Yeah, hot
Like
bag.
it's basically like you said, it's basically like a pizza thingy that the pizza
Yeah,
driver has, but it's a square, it's a box. Yes,
yeah.
I have a couple of them.
And I noticed that it says that once you sign up, you can start making money with them. Within 24 hours.
Sure.
And after your first, not they probably found too many people were signing up to be Door Dashers, and then after they did one delivery or not even one, they quit. But they says, well, you don't get you don't get the basket, the warming basket, until you've actually made one delivery. I thought that was
I believe that. I mean, the one I have is actually not a DoorDash one. When I was in Sarasota years and years and years ago, I worked for another delivery company that I think has since been just like the radio business. They kind of gobble each other up, they mergers and all that stuff. What was the one? I don't even remember the name of that one that I was with. But anyway, it was what?
Uber Eats is
No, no,
around.
no. It was called
Right?
Bite Squad.
Oh,
It was
Bite
called
Squad.
Bite Squad. They might still be around. But anyway, I have a big keep warm bag with them and a pizza bag from them, so I didn't have to get the ones from DoorDash. But you're right. I will again. The technology is so good now with DoorDash. You see where you're going. You push the button. I accept it. It says, "Okay, drive to this restaurant." It plugs into your Apple Maps or your Google Maps, gives you directions to the restaurant. You walk in. Here's what you're picking up. Here's who it's for. So if you're at most restaurants, of course, they got 10 different orders for 10 different deliveries. Who you picking up for? Oh, I'm picking up for this BJ Odom guy. What's the order number? Here's the order number. Cool, got it. Here's the bag. Push the button. I've picked it up. Are you sure you've picked it up? Did you get the drinks? Did you get the dessert? Did you get yeah, got it all. Yep, picked it up. Cool. Here's where you're going. New map. Drive here. It's going to take you this long. Now, when you get there, leave it at the door, knock on the door, hand it to the customer, whatever. 9 times out of 10, it's just leave it at the door, which is awesome.
That's
awesome.
what I do.
Yeah. Leave it at the door. And then you're walking away, delivered, done. Congratulations, you've been paid. And at the end of the night, when your shift ends, whatever you've been paid as far as regular money plus tips, and whatever, it shows up on a debit card immediately. And you can go tomorrow and you can go out and spend it on the debit card.
That's kind of cool.
It is kind of cool. It really is. I mean, like I said, they've got the technology down. So good for them.
Now I think I'm hungry.
Now I know I am. I'll be doing a little lunch when we're done here.
Maybe I'll have some
Chicken strips.
chicken tenders.
By the way, are you a Sam's Club or a Costco person?
Costco.
Yeah, I don't have a Costco in Gainesville, which totally bums me out because I was a total Costco homer back in Sarasota. Don't have one here. The closest Costco is either Jacksonville or yours in Claremont or whatever. But Sam's doing what they can to compete, and I give them a lot of credit because they're getting better and better and better. Sam's will sell you a big bag of organic, natural chicken strips, not deep fried, but breaded. And they are so doggone good. A couple of times a week. They're awesome. Just throw them in the oven, warm them up, you're done.
I bet you they were better than the ones I had the other day.
I guarantee, as Charles Barkley would say, guaranteed they are better than the ones you had from the clown place. Yeah. So anyway, get a salad, a couple of those chicken strips, throw it on there. Healthy lunch. Awesome. Just saying. Just saying. There you go.
So, what will you be talking about? Oh, you haven't recorded yet, so you don't know. I was going to say, what are you talking about?
The
Practical
Bill
path.
and Vicky, the practical path. We did something last week. I thank you for reminding. We were talking about Chat GPT earlier and talking to artificial intelligence. Our conversation on the podcast last week between the two humans was about the difference between love and gratitude, and how that plays out in life. I don't know how we got on the subject, but we did. We talked about it for a while, and then I had this harebrained idea, and I thought, let's ask Chat GPT, because We weren't struggling. I mean, this is her business. She knows what she's talking about. But I'd like, all right, how about a second opinion? So I unfortunately I didn't have the voice chat GPT up because you can put it on your phone and it will speak to you. But I just plugged it into the app on my computer. I said, "You are a spiritual guru. Please tell me the difference between love and gratitude." And it spit out a page of absolutely beautiful, mind-blowing, interesting stuff. And I read it out loud on the podcast, and she and I are both staring at each other like, our jobs are done. It's like Chat GPT is a life coach now. Oh my God. So anyway, it was fun. It was interesting. And I'm going to do it with some other things too. So I don't know.
I love ChatGPT.
I do too. And it's getting so good. It's scary. So good. We will, like, if we're watching TV and we have a question about something, pick up the phone, you just talk to it. It talks back. And it even asks you questions. It's like I mentioned we were watching the girls' softball World Series. We had a question about something. I forget. How big is the field, or what's the difference between the men's and the women's? And it comes back and tells us the answer. And it's like, sounds like you're interested in girls' softball. Is there anything else you'd like to know? I'm like, how do you politely say, oh, no, go back to sleep?
But what is scary also, and maybe not scary, the more you use it, and if you use it kind of like towards the same type things,
yes,
I've asked it a lot of questions about my car.
About your car. Cool. BJ drives an electric car. He's super cool, folks.
Yes. So I'm like, just different, and even different electric cars, just every once in a while, compare this and compare cost and how far will this car go, and how far will this car go on a full charge? All this stuff, sometimes I just ask.
Sure.
So sometimes when I ask something about electric, now are you talking about your Ionic 2024 Ionic, 5? Or are you talking about, my car? It asks me if I'm talking about, and then it tells me which car I'm asking about.
It remembers. Yes. I remembers is the wrong word, but yes, it can reference back to other conversations you've had in the past. Yes, it's totally scary in a good way.
Yeah.
I think it's in a good way. I don't know. It hasn't taken over just yet, but give it a little while. I saw that movie with Schwarzenegger. I saw that movie.
I was actually watching, but he didn't act afraid of it. I was actually asking, I wasn't asking nothing, but I was watching a television show that was I just say musical artist. I won't even say the genre.
Okay.
A musical artist.
Okay.
And he rattled off like 3 or 4 things that you need to have okay, I'm going to have to do the genre, in a perfect country song.
Perfect country song. It's got to be,
goes, if you don't believe me,
dogs and pickup trucks.
And he goes, if you don't believe me, just ask ChatGPT. He will tell you the same thing. And it almost sounds like this particular artist, I'm thinking, now, does that mean you use ChatGPT sometimes when you're writing a new country hit?
Right.
It made me think. Let's just say that. It made me think.
Yep.
Listening to that conversation, and as much as he seemed to know about ChatGPT, I'm going, whoa, are some of these artists in all genres now? Hey, I'm trying to write a song about, this, and I feel this way, and I want to make it a country song, or I want to make it a rap song.
Yep.
Can you help me out?
The funny thing would be if it wrote the country song, you could simply say, okay, now make it a rock and roll song. Same song. Make it a rap song. Same song.
Yeah, change the words. And you could do that, because, a rap song and a country song is probably not going to sound alike. So I wonder if it, change the words to make it sound more like a rap.
Right.
It's weird.
Sure. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Who's going to have a job left? Good thing we're old and retired.
This is a weird way to end the show, but it's true. You have no idea how thankful I am. And as I talk to people of, and I hate this term, but here we go again, as I talk to people of our age, meaning old people, I am so happy to not be in a world of where I have to worry about my job because some artificial intelligence is going to do it. And the problem is, it's not coming for the construction workers, and it's not coming for the garbage guys and ditch diggers. It's coming for the professionals. If you're a lawyer, if you're a doctor, and you need to, maybe not a doctor who like cuts on people, but that's coming. But I've seen that video where they talk to a bank president, might have been Jamie Dimon from Chase, I don't remember, where he says, we have a department full of MBAs who literally, when we are going to take over another company, they spend 90 days putting together the documentation of everything there is to know about this company and how we're going to pay for all the documentation. He says it takes a team of a dozen people, highly paid people, 90 days to put that document together. He says the AI does it in an hour, and then with no humans, and then one guy or one girl checks it over to put in all the numbers, the details that need to go into it. He says, I have reduced my salary. I've reduced a dozen people who were making hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars to one person.
The only thing that is scary, though, you do need to ask it, because it goes after sources, and it
Yes.
can find hundreds of sources.
Yes.
On the web.
Yes.
But as you know, and I know, there are many sources on the web that doesn't really know exactly what they're saying, but they're
Correct.
still out on the web.
Correct.
So you do, and that's where I guess you're still going to need people for a while.
Yes.
Let's say you have this long document.
Yes.
You're definitely going to need somebody with some brains to
check it over.
Check it all over, check all the sources to make sure this is right. And this, because I have heard of instances of people that use it for writing speeches, let's say about a country artist.
Right.
Because we were just talking about that. It might tell you a whole speech that you could give about this country artist, but yet he died 2 years ago. Oh, wait, he's still alive. He didn't die.
Right.
So that's what you got to watch out for.
There's a lot of that. But again, we're literally only 2 years into this whole AI thing, and it's going to do nothing but get better and smarter every day. And eventually it won't make those mistakes. Eventually.
I will tell you this as we get ready to leave here today, though, which scares me because I'm a guy 70 years old. And there's parts of me that, like you said, and I feel the same way. I'm glad that I am the age I am.
Right.
Because we don't have to worry about the AI taking our jobs.
Right.
But yet I'm thinking, oh man, I wish I was younger because I love, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but I actually love working and playing with AI.
Well, then find a way to do it in your old age, Dad.
Well, I am, but I'm going,
I know.
This is like, even with the electric car, I'm going, because I love my electric car.
Sure.
I'm saying, God, if these things would only been around, and more, more available and more known about 10 years ago, if I could have been driving this for 10, 15 years.
I understand.
But, I got an electric car out there. I'll probably last longer than the damn battery. I mean, the battery in that car will probably last longer than me. So I don't have a whole lot to worry about.
No, you're good. You're good. So yes. So find something that interests you and see how AI can help you turn it into a business. By the way, yours truly is doing exactly that. So maybe in the next week or so, we'll have more to talk about that. But yes, AI, unbelievable what it can and will do for us. All right? So hopefully it's an opportunistic thing to leave the show on.
I just like playing with it.
I hear you. I get it.
I'm at the age now where, I'm more interested in AI than I am sex. So, that's where my life is. So I'm in really bad trouble.
Thankfully, wait, this is me knocking on wood. Thankfully, I'm not there yet. So
you got a few more years.
Just a couple, but we're all good. It's fine. You're good. All right, good. How does it always come back to sex on this show? How does it? Never mind.
Well, that's because you're doing a podcast with BJ Odom. Makes it pretty simple.
Makes it pretty damn simple. All right, everybody. Jeez, oh whiz. You had to wait the whole hour for that one punchline, didn't you? All right. Have a great week, everybody. We love you. We appreciate you. Remember, leave that 5-star review wherever you get your podcasts. We do appreciate it.
Maybe I can make love with AI. I might have to work on that this week.
Yeah, if it were just chatting back and forth, maybe so. But yeah, somebody somewhere is working on that. All right, smart guy. Have a great week. We'll talk to you then. Until then, it's just up to BJ Udom to say,
See ya.
Flip the dial, take a ride back in time when the airways were golden and the DJ shined. 2 mics, 2 guys, and a whole lot of laughs. Living like legends, bringing stories back. No script, no rules, just telling it all.